And that's what it's all about. Acclimating the public. County disaster drill tests emergency workers in Colorado. That's from centerpostdispatch.com. Massive emergency drill could lead to traffic mess near Chicago. I believe we already referenced that, but there's some more from southtownstar.com. North Carolina emergency response teams converge on Wilson Bay disaster drill. That's from jdnews.com. Ohio emergency drill tests local agencies' response. That's from newsandsentinel.com. Anderson area agencies prepare for emergency drills in South Carolina. That's from WTNH. Santa Barbara, California's Westmont to host emergency drill. That's from independent.com. Disaster week drills begin in Chicagoland. More on that from NBCChicago.com. Emergency drill at Connecticut submarine base. That's from WTNH.com. Emergency drill patients taken to Vancouver Washington Hospital. That's from Columbia.com. Mock crash real test in Portland, Maine. That's from PressHerald.com. Marathon Petroleum postpones emergency drill in Washington. More on that from SWCBulletin.com. Emergency drill set for Danbury, Connecticut Hospital. That's from NewsTimes.com. Medford, Oregon airport drill gives teams practice. They need practice. Acclimating you. Acclimating everyone. Sometimes they let you even play act. Sometimes they'll have you say things like, "I'm an American. Please don't put me in a camp." But mostly these drills, in addition to being wasteful, are the PSYOP. A lot of this seems intimately connected and tied in to the previous puppet administration and all of their terror drills, but it still goes on and on and on. MSU drill underway for hazmat, fire, and bombs in Missouri. That's from ozarksfirst.com. North Carolina drill tests Coast Guard under stress. That's from dailyadvance.com. SWAT teams drill at Columbia College in California. That's from mymotherlode.com. Preparing for the worst at Michigan water plant. That's from wwmt.com. ECU conducts full-scale campus shooter drill in North Carolina. That's on reflector.com. Washington holds massive earthquake drill. PNWLocalNews.com. Nuclear plant emergency drill canceled after power outage in Michigan. That's from MonroeNews.com. UW Medical Center holds what if situation drill in California. That's from DailyUW.com. East hosts Red Cross emergency drill in New York. That's on Patch.com. Bristol, Connecticut disaster drill, exploding chemicals. That's on thecurrent.com. Brown Printing holds large-scale emergency drill in Minnesota. That's from Waseca County News.com. Mangling the name. Again, all the links are available for you. Appalachian State University in North Carolina holds full-scale emergency drill. That's on journalnow.com. UW at Madison and several other agencies hold emergency response drill. NBC15.com. And a disaster drill in Providence, Rhode Island. More on that from WPRI.com.
First responders meet a gruesome train scene in Providence today, all part of a practice drill preparing officials for when a real accident does happen. Eyewitness News at the practice drill site this afternoon off Elmwood Ave across from Roger Williams Park. The scenario was a serious train collision. Amtrak ran the simulation today with the Providence Emergency Management Agency to give emergency crews practice.
This is training that Amtrak provides to all types of emergency response agencies in order to get them familiar with our equipment should an incident occur.
And about 60 people participated in today's mass casualty practice drill from cities all around the Providence metro area, stretching from Johnston to West Warwick.
And then Expedia's Toronto office runs their yearly disaster drill. More on that from itworldcanada.com.
Sure, absolutely. We conducted a disruptive live fire exercise, unannounced surprise drill late last year. We launched that exercise with an email to the head of development for Expedia.ca saying, this is your annual drill, your office is now closed, access is denied, please activate your continuity plan and continue your operations in emergency mode. And they received that at night. We ran it overnight and throughout the rest of the business day and terminated at the close of the next day. There's a number of different solutions. We have VPN access into our corporate data center and into the live site. So we can prop code, we can do merchandising, we can affect the live site itself, as well as do email and post our documents and generally run the business. We have multiple ways to do both, and we back up our Toronto office with another office close by, so there's PCs available in case they need them. And we also have command center setups with hotel partners where we could spin up an emergency work area and have people work from there. Technology challenges which you don't find unless you actually exercise disruptively by doing the real thing rather than just do a tabletop or review your plans. We found, for example, that there are applications that might work well from one VPN solution but not necessarily another. So it's very important to test all of the things that need to get done as far as business process and test them redundantly.
Ottawa holds G20 protest-related emergency drill. And again, we remind you the G8, G20 coming up basically next week in Toronto. Of course, they have been drilling massively. The intelligence and military connections will be covered quite completely there in Toronto in the days and weeks to come. They've spent more money on security for the couple of days of the elites than they spent in weeks for the already we'd gone over the police state settings for their recent Olympics. Ottawa holds G20 protest-related emergency drill. That's from thestar.com. And one of the latest, as we add all to these massive amounts of terror drills, 35 plus going on all around the last few and even current days. NORAD plans exercise flights over 3 states and D.C. That's Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, and the District of Criminals. That was happening this morning. More on that from dailypress.com. 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment conducting military exercises June 15th through the 19th. That's from hometownclipper.com, and that is as we speak. Again, we are soaking in military PSYOP terror drills going on. Envelopes with white powder sent to federal buildings in Washington, Idaho, and Utah. More on that from king5.com. And it gets stranger. As we've talked about, interesting and strange folks doing strange things for strange reasons, as we covered, of course, the guy hunting Osama bin Laden in Pakistan as if he were still alive. We have another couple of strange cases, again, always connected to the military, whether you're a McVeigh or an Oswald or any of it. Armed couple detained outside MacDill Air Force Base, which is the home of CENTCOM in Florida.
They've got the entire south end of MacDill Air Force Base shut down right now. This is the Bayshore entrance gate. Apparently they had a light blue-colored SUV that pulled into the gate and was stopped by security officers. And at that point, we don't know exactly what happened, but they have started unloading everything out of that SUV, including a number of what appear to be sniper rifles, large ammunition, military paraphernalia, clothing, and we're waiting right now for some more word from MacDill Air Force Base to what all this means and why this vehicle was stopped here at the main entrance gate.
Did it try to get through the gate?
It does not appear that it tried to ram the gate or anything like that, but we don't know exactly what happened when it approached the gate, why it was stopped, why it wasn't allowed to continue on in. All we can say is that for some reason they did stop this vehicle and found something suspicious, and they actually had a robot and some bomb squad type technicians approach the vehicle a couple hours ago. They circled the vehicle and they've been looking at it ever since.
Were there 2 men in it?
I don't have official word on that. I've heard reports of that, but don't have that confirmed yet.
So you don't know if they've taken any people out of the car or held them for questioning or anything?
Yeah, we talked to one of the military police detectives here on scene. He could provide us no information, so just wait. We've got a military spokesperson on